Welcome to the St. Peter's Engineering College. So myself, V. Garendra, Department Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering. So I'm going to be teaching the subject surveying and geomatics. So for this today's session, I'm going to be discussing about the obstacles in chaining. So this is going to be comes in the linear measurements. Obstacles in chaining, where it is going to be coming, is in linear measurements. Linear measurements. Linear measurements will be, or we are going to be called as distance measurements. Linear measurements are, we are going to be called as distance measurements. Linear measurements are the distance measurements. So the obstacles in chaining is, so obstacle means we are not able to measure the distance. That is not obstacles in chaining. We are unable to measure the distance. If any obstacle is going to come across, how we have to be, so the obstacle is going to come across, how we can able to apply the method, and we are going to be evaluated that the distance measurement, because we have to be complete the task, the distance measurement. Even the obstacle is going to come across, so what are the methods are available, so how we can able to obstructed distance or obstructed linear measurement can able to measure, so that is known as the obstacles in chaining. So there are the different varieties of obstacles that is going to come across. So while you are going for the chaining is chaining and linear measurements or the distance measurements, we are going to be using by the chain or the tape. We are going to be using the instruments to measure the distance is going to be called as the chain or the tape. Obstacles in chaining is both. We are going to be using the chain for the survey, major survey stations or major distances, and tape we are going to be using for the smaller distances. Both chain and tape we are going to be using to go for the distance measurement. With that, the distance measurement we are going to be, that is the field work we are going to be doing. We are going to be noted down, and then after that we are going to be coming to the office and we are going to be preparing a plan. So this is the phases of the work. So field work is the first phase, and second phase is going to be called as preparation of plan or the map from the field measurements. So that is going to be called as office work. So the in the this, while you are going to be measuring the distances, we are going for the chain surveying. That we are going to call as so we are going to be we are going to be measuring the distance by using the chain or tape. So that's why we are going to call it chain surveying. Based on the instruments used, the surveying is going to be classified as chain surveying. Here in this, we are going to be measuring the distances by using the chain or the tape, or chain and tape both we are going to be using. So while you are going for measuring the distances, what are the various obstacles is going to come across? So how we are going to be, so the measure the distance, even obstacle comes, what are the methods are there? So that are they classified into three methods. Obstacles in chaining is classified into three methods, or we are going to call it three ways the obstacles is going to come. So one is chaining free, vision obstructed. So first case is going to be called chaining free, vision obstructed. Chaining obstructed, vision free. Chaining obstructed, vision free. A third case is both chaining and vision obstructed. So this is we are going to be called as a classification of obstacles while you are going for the chaining, while you are going for measuring the distances. Chaining free, vision obstructed, chaining obstructed, vision free, both chaining and vision is obstructed. So this we are going to call as classification of obstacles in chaining, or the classification of obstacles while you are going for the measuring distances from one end to the other end. So chaining free means we can able to drag a chain, or we are going to be extending the chain or the tape. So the possibility will be, that is why we call as chaining is free. So then vision is going to be obstructed, ranging obstructed. We cannot able to see so one end to the other end. So the two distinct points we are not able to visible. Visibility is going to be obstructed. So that is going to be called as ranging is going to be obstructed. Chaining And ranging. Chaining is we are going to be extending the chain line is going to be free. We can able to do it. Vision is ranging. We cannot see that the other end of the line. Other end of the line that is going to be called vision is going to be obstructed. Similar second case is chaining is obstructed. We cannot able to extend the chain or we cannot able to drag the chain, pull the chain. Chain is going to be obstructed because of the obstacle. Vision is free, ranging is free. So we can able to range. So we can able to see that the starting point and end point. There is no vision or the ranging. Starting point and end point can able to see that one. Vision is free in the second case. Previous case, first case, vision is obstructed. Vision is going to be obstructed. Means starting point and end point is not going to be intervisible. It is not going to be visible from one end to the other end. So that is going to be called as vision is going to be obstructed. In terms of we are going to be called as ranging is going to be obstructed. Last case is going to be called as both chaining and vision is going to be obstructed. Both chaining and vision is going to be obstructed. Means I cannot able to extend chain or the measurement with the chain is not possible. Vision, the ranging also is not going to be possible. So the obstacle is going to be giving difficulty in the chain, dragging of the chain, extension of the chain line, measurement of the chain line, and also difficulty in the ranging, and we cannot able to see that one into the other. Intervisibility is so the intervisibility. There is no intervisibility from station one's starting point to the end point. These are we are going to call as classification of obstacles in chaining, classification of obstacles in the measurement, linear measurement. Now I am going to be taking that the first case, chaining is free and vision is going to be obstructed. Chaining free, vision obstructed. Vision, or we are going to be called as ranging obstructed. Chaining free, vision is going to be obstructed. So this is the first classification of the as obstacle. Vision chaining is free, vision is going to be obstructed, ranging is going to be obstructed. For this example is jungle or forest. So where this type of difficulty I am going to be getting, that is the wooded area. So thickly wooded area. So that is going to be called as jungle, or we are going to call it as forest. So in the case forest, the chaining is we can able to do it one, but vision is going to be ranging is going to be obstructed. Means one because of the trees, because of the thick wooded forest, growth of the trees, the vision is going to be obstructed. Means starting point and end point we cannot able to see. So intervisibility is missing. Intervisibility is not there between the starting point and end point. That's why vision is going to be obstructed. Similarly, it is going to be another example is going to be called as high or rising ground, high ground or rising ground also. So the chaining is free and vision is going to be obstructed. Rising ground also. So like this, the rising ground will be there. Chain line is going like this. So this is the starting point. This is the end point. So this A and B, intervisibility of A and B is difficult. So we cannot see the B that is the end point from A, and similarly from the end point B, we cannot able to see that A. So there is the high rise ground. Or we are going to call a small hill is going to come across while you are going for the distance measurement. So then it is not possible. The vision is going to be vision is not possible, or vision is going to be obstructed, or ranging is going to be obstructed. For this case, what we are going to be doing is indirect ranging. Indirect ranging, by using the indirect ranging, we can able to find out the distance measurement. But the another one is going to be called as the, if this example we are taken as the forest. So this we can able to see that one. So this is the forest. So this is the one end of the point A. So this is another end of the point B. So this is the forest. So forest is going to come across. So forest is going to be come across while you are going from A to B. So you are going to be measuring from A to B. The forest is going to come across. This is going to be called as the obstruction is going to come across. We cannot go for so then it is A and B is going to be not going to be visible. So we can able to chaining is we are able to do from A to B, even though the forest will be there, chaining is going to be continuous, but the vision is going to be obstructed. In that case, how I can able to extend the line of beyond that the forest? So that is the question mark. For that one, so going to be choosing the one point, and here the one point. The P is the one point before the forest. I will be taking from that. I'm going to draw a line. So this line is going to be called as random line. Random line. This is going to be random line. This is straight line random line is going to be called as the PT. PT the random. This forest is going to come across. We are going to be using that the random line method. Random line method. Random line method. PT is the random line. So I'm going to be taking the point, convenient point before the forest. One point I'm going to be taking that C point. After the forest, I'm going to be taking the D point. Another point I'm going to be taking the E. So C, D, E, I'm going to be taking C, the point D, point E. So on the line PT random line, on the random line PT, I'm going to be suitably selected. One point is before the forest is going to be called a C point. So next 2 points is going to be taken as after the forest, D point and E point as taken. So then after that, what I'm going to be doing is erecting the perpendiculars to the C from C. So this is 90 degrees. Similarly, from the D, and similarly from the E, so erecting the perpendiculars. So from the C, it is going to be reaching the point C1. D, it is going to be reaching the point D1. E is going to be reaching the point E1. So I am going from the C and D and E. So I'm going to be erecting the perpendiculars. Here, PC is going to be measured and PD is going to be measured and P is going to be measured length. PC, we can able to measure distance, and PD equals to measured distance, and PE also is going to be measured distance. PE measured distance means from P to C the distance is known, from B to T distance is known, and P to E distance is known, and similarly C1 also is known distance. C1 also known distance. C1 also known distance. So this is the random line method. Here C to C1 is known, P to D is known, P to C is known, P to E is known. So now what I'm going to be taking is the similar triangles. Now I'm going to be taking that the similar triangles. So triangle PCC1 and a triangle PDD1. Triangle PCC1 and triangle PDD1. So here PC is known, PD is known, CC1 is known. PC is known, CC1 is known, and PD is known. So only thing is unknown is going to be called as DD1. So no unknown is going to be called as DD1. So now I'm going to be calculating PD by D1 equals to PD by PD PD by PD by PC. PD by PC is equals to DD1 by CC1. DD1 by CC1. So from this DD1 equals to P into D CC1 by PC. So now PD is known, CC1 is going to be known, and PC also is going to be known one. So then I am going to be calculating what is the DD1. So this length I am going to be getting that what is the DD1. So similarly, triangles PCC1, PCC1 and triangle PE1, PE1. So now I can able to write that what is the PE? PE by PC, PE by PC is equals to EE1 by CC1. So from this EE1 equals to PE into CC1 by PC. So EE1, and I got the value of EE1. You got the value of EE1. So now the values are known is going to be called as PC is known, CC1 is known, PD is known, DD1 is known, DD1 is known, PE is known, and EE1 is known. So from the known distances DD1, the known distances DD1 and EE1, it is going to be perpendicular, assuming that line is going to be passing through the A to B, such that I can be able to calculate. So what is the PE1? So that is the PD1. I am able to calculate it. So what is the distance of PD1? PD1 is going to be called the obstructed one. PD1, I had to be calculated. PD1 equals to PD1 equal PD square plus DD1 square under root. So that is the obstructed length I am going to be calculated. So P to D1 is obstructed one is PD. So this is right angle triangle. So PD and D, PD square plus DD1 square, that will be this to the PD1. So PD1 is the obstructed length. PD1 is the obstructed length. So in this way, we are going to be calculating if the obstacle is going to becomes in the form of a forest. So the ranging is not possible, and because of the ranging, we cannot do the continuing the chaining. So the distance is going to be obstructed distance. We are going to be measured by using the random line method. Next, the second one is case 2 is chaining obstructed, vision is free. So chaining is obstructed, vision is free. For this example is lake or pond. So another one is going to be called as a river. So lake or the pond and the river, these are the examples coming under chaining is obstructed, vision is free. Chaining means we cannot able to measure the distance on the water, lake or the pond. What this is, we take that the pond So here, so the distance, so here the chaining is not possible, but vision. So this is point A, this is point B. So in this case, so here the chaining is not possible. Thus the chaining is going to be obstructed in the water body because of the water body. So because of the water, so we cannot able to measure the distance, but vision from A point and B point, both are intervisible. A and B are intervisible. That is ranging our vision is going to be possible. That's why vision is free, and so the chaining is not possible. So another one is that in the case of a lake or the pond, we are going to be taking as the small water body. If it's a big water body, so this is so the river. So then, so this is point A, and this is point B, and C and D. So this the river is going to be flowing. So your distance chaining is going to be done from A to B. So chaining is from A to B, and CD is the obstructed length. Here, B point and A point. A point and B point are the station points. Our A and B are the banks of the rivers. A and B are the banks of the rivers. That will be vision is free, ranging. We can able to see that one intervisibility of A and B is possible. But the distance is obstructed, is the CD is going to be obstructed because of the water body. So we cannot able to measure the length of the CD because water is going to be obstructed. Water flowing is going to be obstructed in this case of the river. So in the river, so how we can able to do that one? How we can able to calculate the obstructed length or the obstructed distance? Similarly, in the lake or pond, we are going to come across while you are doing that the chaining or while you are going for distance measurement. So how we can able to calculate that the obstructed length or the distance? So that is we are going to be called as chaining obstructed vision free. So chain we cannot do that one, but ranging is going to be possible. Means intervisibility of the station points is so intervisibility of the station points is available. So that is going to be called vision is free or ranging is free. First, we are going to be taking the lake or the pond example, lake or the pond. So because this is going to be called a small water body, lake or the pond is going to come across as a small water body. That's why we had to go around the obstacle. Here, what we are going to be doing is go around the obstacle. Obstacle is possible. Is possible to measure obstructed length. To measure obstructed length. This is the possibility will be there. Lake or pond because of the small water body. So here what we are going to do is go around the pond. This is the pond. So what we can do that this is your chaining is going on from A to B. So this is the point A and this is the point B. So this is the water body. Water body is there. So this is the obstructed chain link. So what we are going to be doing is nearer to the pond, I'm going to be taking the C, and from C erect a perpendicular 90 degrees. Similarly, away from the pond, taking the D point, erect a perpendicular, and now so C and E and D and F. So CE equals to DF. How we are going to be erecting the perpendicular? CE equals to DF. CE equals to DF. Like that, erecting the perpendiculars. Erecting the perpendiculars in such a way that it is go around the obstacle. This is we are going to go around the obstacle. And then, so E and F is going to be called a measured. E and F is going to be measured. That will be equals to the CD. So E and F is going to be measured. From this E, this is the point E, and this is the point F. So E and F is going to be measured. So that will be equivalent to the C and D. C and D is going to be called obstructed length. So now what we are doing is the lake or the pond is going to come across. This is the obstructed length. CD is the obstructed length. CD equals to obstructed length. CD equals to obstructed length. For that one, from C, CE and equals to DF. C equals to DF. That C and DF are the perpendiculars. This is the perpendiculars. Perpendicular length. C equals to DF are the perpendicular length. This is going back to C and DF are the perpendicular. So equal length are perpendicular. So line joining the E and F. So EF is going to be measured. EF is measured. So then CD equals to EF, that is the obstructed length. CE equals to DF is going to be called the obstructed length. So in this way, we are going to be obstructed length is going to be measured by using that the go around the obstacle. If it is a lake or pond is going to be coming. In the similar way, we can able to calculate. This is the pond is there. So this is A and B are the two end stations. A and B the two end stations. And so before that the water body, this is water body. So I'm going to be taking the point C. So where I'm going to directing the perpendicular, and it is D. CD is the perpendicular. Is going to be away from your water body. So that is the lake or the pond. And I'm going to be taking that the slope another linear measurement I'm going to be taking away from the lake or the pond. It is going to be intersecting the point E. So CD is perpendicular distance and DE is also the measured distance. Now what is going to happen? This triangle CDE is a right angle triangle. So CDE is a right angle triangle. So now what I have to do is, what is the obstructed length? CE is going to be called the obstructed length. So I have to be calculated what is the CE, that is the obstructed length. For that one, so once you are going to be measured, the CD distance is known and DE distance is known. CD and DE is known distances. So in the triangle CDE, so CE equals to DE square minus CD square under root. So this is CE is the obstructed length. We are going to calculate it by using the right angle triangle principle. By using the right angle triangle principle, I can able to calculate what is the obstructed length. So from the A to B, say the survey line is going on. The C and E is the obstructed length. How we are going to be calculated for the pond or the lake. Next example is going to be called as a river. For the river, it is going to be called as chaining obstructed vision is free. Vision is going to be free. So this is the river flow. survey line A and B. So A and B is visible. The station points A and B, A and B are the visible. A point is in one side of the bank. B is the another side of the bank, and this is the point. So the nearer to the river flow, near to the river, in one side of the bank, we are going to taking the one point C, other point D. C and D. C and D is known as CD only. We have to be calculated. What is the length of CD? So we have to be calculated the length of the CD because of the river flow. So it is not possible for the chaining or the taping. Chain or the tape we cannot able to measure. But B and A are going to be visible, and C point is visible, and D point is going to be visible. So now obstructed length is going to be CD. CD is going to be obstructed length because of river flow. We cannot able to measure it. How we can able to measure the length of the CD obstructed length by using the trigonometrical principles. So now from C, erect a perpendicular E. CD from C, CE is going to be perpendicular, and we are going to bisected the CE. So point F. C is the perpendicular from the AB line. So CE perpendicular C is AB is perpendicular to CE. C is perpendicular to AB, and AB and C are the perpendicular. F is the midpoint of CE, or the bisected line CE. And from E, erect a perpendicular once again is G. EG is once again erect a perpendicular. Now you can able to see the D point, F point, and G line joining the D point F G is in the same vertical line. So now the D point, F point, and G point from E. Once again, we are going to erecting a perpendicular. So the G point we are able to get it. D, F, G will be on the same straight line. So we are going to aligning in such a way that ranging is possible. That's why we can able to arrange that G, F, D, D, F, G will be in the same straight line. So now C is the perpendicular and EC is the perpendicular. Now we can able to see that DCF is one triangle and EGF is another triangle. These are the two triangles. So what is the length of EZ? This is a measured distance. EZ is going to be measured. So CE is measured and EZ also measured distance. So because of the similar triangles, so triangles DCF and similarly, so EGF. These are the similar triangles. From this one, similar triangle property, this will be equals to this one. So EZ equals to CD. So this is, we are going to be calculated that the obstructed distance. EG is equals to CD. So in the case of river, how the obstructed length we are going to be calculated by using the trigonometrical principles. So we are going to be taking the one point nearer to the bank of the river, one bank of the river C, and D is another point we are going to be taking. From C, CE is the perpendicular, that is the distance is going to be measured. C is the perpendicular distance. C is going to be bisected. The point we are able to get is the point F, I am able to get it. From E, once again we have erected perpendicular, that is going to be G. How the G point is going to be selected is that, so DFG will be on the same straight. We can able to do the ranging, that's why DFG will be on the same straight line. In that way, so we are going to be doing, so DFG is straight line. So then, so C from the CDF is one triangle and EGF is another triangle. These are two similar triangles. From this, EG will be equals to CD. CD is going to be called as unknown or So the interrupted distance, interrupted measurement is the CD. So from the similar triangles, we can able to calculate it, what is the distance of CD. This the third case is going to be called as both chaining and vision obstructed. Chaining and vision obstructed. So both chaining and vision obstructed. Example is a building. Example is a building. So now how we are going to be calculating the obstructed distance. So this is a building. So this is the chain line. So point A and point B. So here chaining is not possible, vision also not possible because of this building is going to be obstructed one. So this building is going to be obstructed. This is a building. So the building is going to be obstructed. So it is not possible. Chaining is not possible. We cannot drag the extension in the line. Vision also, ranging also is not done because A and B is we cannot able to see that A point and B point. So there is no intervisibility will be there A and B. In that cases, what we have to do? So we are going to be taking that one point C, another point nearer to D. C and D points are selected. C and D points are selected. And from C, erect a perpendicular and D erect a perpendicular. This is one perpendicular and that. So this is C1 and D1. CD from the C and D erect a perpendicular. So that is away from the building. So C1 and D1. C1 and D1. So C1 equals to D1. C1 equals to D1. Now C1 D1 join. Now C1 D1 is going to be extended, prolonged, and one more point is going to be taken as E1 and F1. So other 2 points will be taken on the extension line E1 and F1. E1, F1. From E1 erect a perpendicular, that the point E we are able to get. F1 erect a perpendicular, point F is going to be getting. So these are all perpendicular and perpendicular. From E1 erect a perpendicular, so point E. From F1 erect a perpendicular, point F. So the C1, E1 and F1, E1 F1 will be equals to C1 D1. So the distance E1 F1 will be equals to, this is equal and this is equal. So now what is going to happen? Now D1 E1 is measured. D1 is going to be measured and D is the obstructed distance. So C1 D1. So D1 E1 is measured. So obstructed distance DE is the obstructed distance, obstructed length. D equal. So then D equals to D1 E1. D equals to D1. This is the obstructed length because of the building we are going to come. So D equals to D1. So in this way we can able to measure the obstructed distance because of chain is not possible. Chaining is we cannot able to extend the chain and we cannot able to see that A and B points. So now beyond the building, what is the next point will be the end point we cannot able to see. So that for that purpose We're going to selecting suitable points before the building C and D. After the from the C and D, erect a perpendiculars CC1 and DD1. And C1 D1 is going to be measured. Distance is going to be measured. CC1 equals to DD1, such that C1 D1 is going to be measured, and C1 D1 line is going to be extended, and point E1 and F1 is going to be selected on the same line. So then E1 F1 will be equals to C1 and D1. From E1 erect a perpendicular, so it is going to be meeting the point E, and F1 erect a perpendicular. So the E1 and F1 will be equals to CC1 and DD1. So then obstructed distance is the DE is going to measure from D1 and E1. So in this way, we can able to measure the obstructed distance DE if it is the obstacle is going to come across as a building. So for the these are the three obstacles how we can able to come across. One is the chaining is free, vision is going to be obstructed. So chaining is obstructed, vision is going to be free, and both chaining and vision is going to be obstructed. First is chaining is free, vision is going to be obstructed. Example is forest, or it is going to be called as rising ground. And second case is chaining is obstructed, means river or the lake. Smaller water bodies is the lake or the pond. So there it is not possible to extend the chain to measure the distances, but vision is free. Ranging means other end of the bank and both sides of the bank, the points are visible. So that's why the vision is going to be free. Chaining and vision both, chaining and vision both will be obstructed in the case of a building. So we cannot able to measure the distance. Chaining is not possible, and similarly because of the building, vision also is not going to be possible. Means so the A and B points are not visible both. So in this way, we are going to be so various methods are mainly we are going to be using that the principles of trigonometry. We are going to applying the principles of trigonometry and the principles of geometry. We are going to applying, and we are going to be so calculating that the obstructed distances or obstructed length in the case of a forest, in the case of lake or the pond, in the case of river, in the case of a building. So the next we will work out the one problem in this. Then we can able to understand that what are the difficulties in chaining. Thank you.